Okay, so like find out the key demand of the question. So Devanshu says, what is that, Devanshu?
Sir, the primary demand is that we have to identify the implementational gaps that surfaced while during the implementation of disaster management act, sir, right, sir? And as you enlightened us regarding the keyword of critically analyze, that is for what purpose the scheme, the act was there, and how it deviated from its objective, sir. For example, it stated for proactive mitigation measures, risk reduction, for example, sir. So how it deviated from it, sir? How it failed to achieve that?
Okay. Okay. Fair attempt. So anybody want to add on to this, or those who are having a different idea? Yes, Kasvi. Implementation challenges. Implementation challenges. Okay, Sudeep says what? Sudeep, point of view. What is a key demand?
Sir, do we have to state how institutions are missing out? How the institution are ill coordinated among themselves, which is resulting.
You know what is institution?
Sir, a body, sir.
Institution means anything which has a association or a structure with a legality.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Anything which has a relation, a structure, or hierarchy with a legality, we call it institution. You will surprised to know that the marriage is an institution.
Yes, sir. I heard of it, sir.
So that is why. And that is how this program is actually. We are open to new idea of institution. We need to find an institution. Acha, are you all using this chatbot, GTP and all? Yes or no?
Not very frequently, sir.
You should. Must use. But like, see, there is a risk. And like what the idea we're going to derive today and what answer we're going to take out, go and see the answer there in the chat GPT. You'll find the very ordinary answers. But what to do, like how to use and why to use chat GPT, it is not to find an answer, but to make your foundation fundamentals strong. Now, go and search, don't search the concept of this institution in a dictionary. Ask to chat GPT. Tell me what is a fundamental concept of institution, that way. And how it has a different meaning in a different scenario, in a different discipline. That way, like prepare your keywords demand from ChatGPT. And don't ignore, like we are living in an era of AI. Missing it means missing a whole lot of new ideas. But do it for fundamentals, foundation, rather than your answers. Because your answers depend on how deeply you have a fundamentals. Now, you know what is fundamental?
Base, sir.
What is base?
Sir, foundation, sir.
Achha, okay. One day, I was discussing with another group of students with whom I am having environmental topics are going. I said, what is ecological integrity? So they say, sir, greeniness, healthy plants, right? Dense forest. These are the integrity, which is the natural things. I said it's okay, but these are not integrity. It is a reflection of an integrity. Integrity means set of principles, processes, degree of adaptation. Integrity will come when the soil cycle will perform the way it is naturally performing. Water cycle is running and supporting and like getting support from the different component. So these are the integrity. Like anything which is let this process go. One day we have a question on this. We had a question on integrity, ecological integrity.
Sir, I guess, sir, did not, sir.
Acha. So I said the integrity is set of principles, structures, features, conservations, है ना? Their associations. So these are the ideas of institutions. Okay. Now what is analysis? Na? And then we're going to see what is critical analysis. What is analysis? As I said many times in different session, that this is and why analysis matters. Na? What is the importance of analysis? That also we'll see. See, this is tree, tree, and there we have a roots. There we have the roots. Roots are having a different branches. By branches, they are having a network. So when we, like how this thick branch is turned into two branches, it is because of bifurcation. That is because of bifurcation. So we have one bifurcation, two bifurcation, three bifurcation. So that way, fourth bifurcation, fifth bifurcation, let's see. So when we bifurcate, it is known as analysis. They say bifurcate, like why, when we say why India is in a like agrarian country, like why farming is in a main occupation. So why we are bifurcating causes, breaking down into smaller one. When we go deep in the process, it is known as critically analyze. Critically analyze. Why critical? So when we go, we try to find out the main finer cause. Finer cause. So that is where we need to take up this question also. Now let us see. Now we are coming back again. Now let us see. The question demands for institutional gaps. No? And what we need to do within institutional gaps, we are not only to list institutional gaps, but we need to tell the finer things. So let us see. So yes, question demands to critically analyze the institutional gaps in implementation of. So yes.
Sir, so in the first process, sir, we will just list the gaps that are being faced, and in the second phase, that is the second critically analyze की जो demand है, sir. So we will further, as you said, sir, bifurcate and analyze deeply the causes, right, sir?
See, first we need to know what are the institutional gaps we have. So first we'll see gap in legalities, gaps in legal operation, or legalities like law wise. Why we have some law is, even though law is there, but why do we have a gap? So we can say like, yes, we have a national NDMA is there, okay, it is nicely designed. SDMA is also there, but where is the LDMA? LDMA means local, and this local and district part, like there we have the gap is there, which is very prominent. So in the municipal level, in the district level, in the village level, this because every village is having a distinct features, and that is why their statutory provisions are different. They have to have some fund and local bodies, effective local bodies. This is what is known as critical thinking. Why they have a lack of fund? Because why the districts are having a lack of fund? Because districts are far away from each other. Like things are so much separated from each other. Villages are so scattered. So that is how we need to make another point. So one way is what is to identify. The first thing is that we need to identify different gaps. So one is, okay, we have a legal gap. Then we have coordination gap. Now what is coordination gap? So we have a gap between center, state, districts. And why do we have a gap? This is known as critical thinking. This is known as critically analyze. I have breakdown, like I have made gap, institutional gap is a coordination gap. Coordination gap को तोड़ के I made a center state district relationship. Then we have to tell like why we have this center state district gap is there. So we need to say that there is no lack of allocation of the fund. Okay. And then we have to tell like certain things have been viewed in some cyclone. I have given this in a Odisha cyclone. There was a delayed evacuation plan. That way we need to tell. Then we have a communication gap. We have a communication gap. This communication gap is actually, and then you have to tell their relevances also. So what is the main like issues when we have a communication gap? When the things are not conveyed, so communication gap will going to make last mile population vulnerable. So communication gap does not let every people affected get protected. It disturbs last mile like what approach. And then you have to tell like why do we have the communication gap is there. Last mile support, yes, in fact, last mile support. So that is where like we have a critical thinking. So why like they do not always support. यहाँ पे देखना आप ऐसा सोच के निकालना. Always support last mile. Lack of exactly that is what my point is. Multilingual issues. Excellent. देखो क्या टाइम पे निकाला इसने पॉइंट सुदीप ने. So because of language barrier, because of geographical barrier, because of literacy, people are not so much aware. Because of technological problems, so that is how we have happened. Kerala flood. केरला में तो यही हुआ ना, पेरियर डैम वाले ने छोड़ दिया, बाद में फिर they have given a warning. People were not having enough time to even to come out. Topographical management, yes. Then we have a Tista flood. That is where it is given there in your notebook, right? Then we have a funding gap. Funding gap. And this funding gap, you have to make an utilization fund. Like any funding is not easy because I got in one project. आपको बता रहा हूँ. So I got in one project, United Nations project under my team. So Manrega that time was known as Narega. So we need to watch the implementation and effectiveness of Narega. So funding was not an issue. There we realized what is an issue? Utilization of the fund. So that time only on the Narega and related project we get 2 lakhs fund, and we were the team of 6. Like HOD of the department was there, and we have other like a field 2 people were there, and we have decided we got this salary also. We got 18,000 rupees salaries, and this project is for 6 months. But like it was so complicated to use and utilize fund because it comes under so much delay, so much conditions, and allocation is there. So that is why it happened. Like so, that is how you have to search in your toffee notes. Where do we have fund shortage and what type of fund shortage has created or what. So through examples, you have to see that toffee notes is loaded with examples. Then planning and execution gap. देखो कितना gap तो ऐसे ही मिल रहा है. Like planning and execution gap. Execution gap. So we need to see why we have a planning and execution gap, because there is a gap between the execution, implementation, formulation. ऐसे बनाना पड़ेगा आपको ना. You have to search in your toppy notes. Then we have other preparedness gap. I have taught some of you this disaster. There I have given a full class on preparedness. So we have a preparedness, not lack of training, lack of exercise, like a distorted EOP, emergency operation plan. Mock drills are not so much effective. It is a kind of a token things. schools आपने देखा ही होगा, like when we have an India Pakistan tussle, we had a mock drill, and then ultimately they said कि अरे जाने दो, manage हो जाएगा, nobody involved. So you have to, and especially to the poor communities were not involved. ये सब rich people का एक दिखावा है ऐसे mock drill. Let people of the affected area involve. So that is where we have a gap. Acha, why we have a gap? Because it is very much costly. Right? This drill and this mock drill and things become costly when we involve poorer also. उनको समझाने बोलने में it will be going to take a time. है ना? So this way we have a like a fragmented structure. That way we need to discuss, and then we have to as like given examples also. Above all, we have a data gap also. Data gap. देख रहे हो खाली गैप में कितनी कहानी बन जा रही है, डेटा गैप. अच्छा, why we have a data gap? कोई genuine कारण बता सकता है? What is the main cause? Why do we have a data gap? It is because we do not have a global problem in data collection itself. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. So I am having an, मैं ऐसे examples बता रहा हूँ. देखो, like we were making a plan. तो मैंने बोला देखो plan में अभी सबसे ज़्यादा important क्या होता है? My plan. देखो उससे justice आता है. Like I got another sense. My plan is to make my people who believe on me will going to become so effective and different from my other competitors. That is one of my plans, is to make you all very capable and very different from other competitors. So this is my plan, and this is my vision also, let us suppose. So I do not have any doubt whenever the problem comes, na, so I know how to take priorities. Your classes, your engagement is my first priority. So I said, sir, the vision matters most. Vision. तो विजन होना चाहिए जिसमें सबको लेके चले और किसी चीज को पहुंचाना है कहीं तक. एंड देन द वी नीड टू थिंक ऑन टीम. सर वाज सेइंग इन टीम डिसाइड्स हु विल गोइंग टू विनर और लूजर. टीम. तो टीम गेट ना effectively accommodated when we have a common vision, we all going to work as a team. So that is where the things are missing here. हाँ, इसमें क्या मिसिंग हो रहा है? Global atlas ही नहीं है तैयार. We do not have a global. We have countries are operating in a scattered way. We do not have a uniformity, and we do not have technology share is an issue. And like sometime, so how they are not benefited? Who? I think I have. Sir, line of network not found in the same areas. Sir, these mock drills and aware programs are for poor people. No, it is not for the poor people. It is for the general public. General public. Mock drills are for general public. You will find more. These things happen during mall also, making things popular. So you need to search some gaps, all gaps, all gaps, all gaps. And then you have to see these gaps with reference to some examples. And with the examples also you have to find it further. Why, जैसे we have a, अच्छा ये बताओ कि we have a communication gap, है ना? Is a linguistic issue, okay? We can have a disconnection between communities also, especially where in a tribal areas. And where do we have a tribal areas? In a remote or rough regions, or in a smooth or suitable regions. Tribal communities कहाँ रहते हैं ज़्यादा? देखो, they live in a remote, in a Uttarakhand region like, and that is where the things become more concernful, social and geographically isolated. Yes. So today we will going to do something different. Last day, one candidate has created and do it for 1, 2, 3 on my advice. So you can take as a reference of this brainstorming rough session and make your fair one with a different color sketch pen. Like different color in the sense, first round do it within a one color, you know, there's a one color, like this is one color, one color, one color, one color, and then like do what, these are the colors very important, these colors, that is where your opinion is, where opinion is, opinion, and then break and justify your opinion, break and justify, this is where you'll get a very very high marks, बहुत अच्छा मार्क्स मिलेगा अगर आपने ऐसे किया तो फर्स्ट ट्राई and break down, like brainstorm, and let us like declutter this, clatter this entire demand of the question, and then do what fit your logic and opinion with an example, like find out the first layer of this structure, then justify within some example, refer this from the topic notes, and then your opinion, and the opinion को भी justify करो, you'll get a critical thinking points, and then do what, in a one branch make one sentence, that is where we're going to work again, one branch one sentence, one branch one sentence, adding two sentences, three sentences, one paragraph, ऐसे करके बनाना है आपको, you have to make this way your answers. Now it is a time taking, but soon it will become a very smooth, no? So anybody want to add some more point here? Prayag want to add some point? Prayag join in a hurry way, no? I don't think you will be having the point.
No sir.
तो क्या point add करना चाहते हो? What point you want to add? So you didn't find point my question, no?
Fine sir. Sorry.
Nani, do you want to add anything on this structure?
No sir. Fine. It's
Okay.
fine.
Okay. So so far we have seen that the first and the fundamental step is identifying the demand of the question, and second important step is लिखते रहना ये सारा चीज जो मैं बताता हूँ आपको. That you all understood, I think, कि demand of the question is very difficult to identify, है ना? तो टॉपर भी देख रहे हो ना, कुछ क्वेश्चन है कुछ लिखा, इसीलिए sometimes feeling comes to me also. UPSC is more about luck, less about talent. So first is identify the core demand of a question. Second, decode core demand. ये जो मैंने किया decode किया, उसके चीजों को आप dimensions निकालो उसमें. And then after decoding, creating many branches, associate branches with an examples. है ना? Examples. अच्छा देखो, examples में भी don't refer certain examples. Refer its objective and outcomes. And I'll give you the hint like how to read topic notes. Don't say Odisha cyclone. We know Odisha is famous, but like use some cyclone name, Amphan or Osaka, Hudhud. Like use this and justify, not with the data, but with some report finding. Use the name of the report, NDMA report of a Hudhud cyclone. So search example that way. Don't give initial examples. Make a set of examples. Associate your things with a set of examples. याद रखना आपसे. This is my point, na? For reference, use set of examples. Set of examples. So is my point making sense? Is things open? Tasvi को समझ में आया Tasvi? What is set of examples? And then set of examples के बाद next होगा your opinion. Your opinion. Okay. So ठीक है. We'll conclude now. If you really want to work on a next level, make up branches. You will yourself will say, yes sir, I started getting in a new things. है ना? तो ठीक है, we'll conclude here, and tomorrow onwards you'll get some support. Those who are attending in a 5-10 question sets, you'll get in a worksheet also. Na? So think in the terms of the worksheet. That will going to help you thinking and extracting content from the notes. तो कल आपका है और फिर परसों तो we have a test है. So should we conclude now?
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Acha, have you got new idea, Devanshu?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Definitely, sir.
Okay. ठीक है. We'll conclude.